everybody, and welcome. Hi, Mitch. Hi, Karen. How are you guys doing?
I always need a minute to recover from your intro.
We are
It's that
three
good.
power thetans, and we have a fourth on the way. Jeffrey will be joining us very shortly. Yeah, go on, Mitch.
Can I be the pink thetan? I mean, yeah, the pink power thetan.
You could be whichever color you like, Mitch.
I know, but we have to pick color. I want to be the pink power thetan.
Well, welcome.
I knew the red power thetan personally. Jamie,
Did you?
what's his name? Yeah, Jamie. Damn, I can't think of his name. He's the most recent one. He's still doing Comic-Cons. Yeah, he was in a bunch of my Dianetics films. Oh, I promise to stop talking about myself.
No, it's great.
I promised my therapist I'd stop talking about myself. Anyway. Jamie's a great guy. We had a lot of fun.
In-house. How are you doing, Jeffrey?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, thank you for joining us.
Oh, hey, I see you made it to the event.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You made it to the patrons ball.
Oh, I'm big time. God. You know, I spent a lot of money to be here. You can see I'm here at the Celebrity Center, and they had a little bit of problem with me podcasting on SPTV. But, you know, I had a contract signed. So,
yeah.
Anyway, if you see any Scientology celebrities, they might drop by the booth here.
Okay,
so,
cool.
Well, we've got a big Scientology celebrity with us because we have the now published author, man of the minute, Mitch Brisker here. Mitch, you published your book over the weekend,
I did.
You've been taking the world by storm. Do you want to fill us in on what's been going on? This is the book. Karen's got it here.
Yeah, well, it's doing really well. I haven't started getting reviews yet. I've gotten some positive feedback. If you have bought it and you're reading it and you like it, please give it a review on Amazon. It makes a difference. And we will be expanding onto other platforms very shortly. So hopefully we'll be in bookstores by Christmas. And just a little update, for the people that donated $50 towards, well, I'll be sending out an email, but I think I may wait for hardbacks to do signed autograph copies because I don't like the idea of sending out signed paperbacks. I think it's kind of cheesy. And the paperback, hardback, the Amazon hardback I guess it landed this morning, so that's ready to go. But yeah, it's been exciting. I mean, I've been doing a lot of media. I've gotten a lot of media attention. First, I did the Daily Mail article, which really was not about the book. They just wanted to talk to me, and then they mentioned. I asked them, please mention the book. They did. Everybody else wants to talk about the book. It has some interesting things in it, and so I did the Daily Mail. I did National Enquirer. I did Chris Cuomo. I'm sure he doesn't remember my name either, but and then I did what else? I did I did a German TV station. I'm doing another one on Friday, 60 Minutes Australia, and Monday, and I'm really happy about that because the whole reason I did this was to share this story and to get this message out. It's not about me. It's not about making money, although I won't say that I don't need the money from selling the book, but you're going to definitely get your money's worth. There's a lot in it.
And the book covers what? Just your story from beginning to end in Scientology? Am I right in thinking?
The book cover?
What does the book cover? You know, the story.
Oh, what does it cover? Yeah, because the book cover is just... It's like my sick fantasy of what Scientology would look like if you just kicked the rock over. It's just a bunch of really scary stuff. Well, the first 3 chapters, which are going to be the subject of a novel that I've started on, it was originally going to be a film. Then I decided, why not write a book and then sell the movie rights? So, and if that doesn't work, I'll write the script myself and see if I can get some financing. But the first 3 chapters are really my origin story, coming of age, and in the middle of the rock and roll, subculture and counterculture, drug culture, growing up in Laurel Canyon. I landed in the Bay Area in 1967. I started art school, and without realizing it, I landed there right in the middle in what they call the Summer of Love, which was that real pivotal moment where hell just broke loose. And so yeah, I felt I had to include that in the book or people wouldn't know who I was the day that I landed in total chaos on the steps of Celebrity Center. And a lot of people were like, could you write more about that? Because they're really fascinated by it. So I do have a project plan for that. And I'm going to start, as soon as things settle down, hopefully in the next day or two, I'm going to start recording the audiobook.
How exciting. So
Yeah.
Scientology, thebiglie.com is where people can get their hands on a copy, right? Or Amazon, search Mitch Brisker and it comes up, right?
Oh yeah, exactly. It's really easy to find on Amazon and
amazing.
Yeah.
Well,
so
one other piece of news before we get into the main topic, I wanted to give Jeff Levin a little bit of a shout out because his short film, which is Brothers Broken, which is about him and his brother and his family in Scientology. Is it this Sunday? I think December 3rd. There's a screening happening in New York, and Tony Ortega and Mike Rinder are going to be there. It's set to be quite a good event. Do you know much more about this, Mitch? You've seen it, I think, haven't you?
Yeah, I have. It's actually not a short film. It's a feature-length film. It's about 90. It's about 90 minutes long. So. Yeah, Karen and I saw it. I ran into Karen at the screening in Studio City at the Studio City Film Festival because here in Los Angeles, every neighborhood has a film festival. You've got Studio City, you've got North Hollywood, you've got the Valley, you've got I don't know, there's a bunch of them, but and it did really well. It was very well received.
Yeah, amazing. We got Mark here in the chat. Our Scientology stories peeling the onion. Sorry, Jeffrey, go on.
Oh, I was going to say, yeah, part of Jeff Levin's film will leave you in tears. It was very touching and heartfelt, and I really liked the film. Hey, by the way, if you could zoom back out to my background, Apostate Alex. Mitch, I've had here at the Celebrity Center.
Yeah,
I've had more than a few Scientologists, OTs, ask me if I could get a copy of your book for a friend discreetly.
Sure.
Well, I think some people here in Scientology are going to read your book, but they're going to order it off someone else's Amazon account.
Right, of course.
Yeah, is this friend Tommy C?
And then they're going to give me a really
more than
review.
A few Scientology. No, they want to read it. They want to see if they're mentioned. Did Mitch
mention
me?
Of course. Yeah.
Did he mention me? And if so, how? And I said, Ann Archer, order the book, okay?
Yeah, and you're going to have to find out that I didn't mention you by ordering it.
And, John Travolta kind of said, hey, look, can you get me a copy? Just, John, I'll take care of it. Okay, so I got these guys covered.
Okay, good. Thanks, Jeffrey.
Yeah.
I appreciate you being willing to use your Amazon account for that purpose.
Anything to help you out, Mitch.
Thank you, Jeffrey.
My Amazon account is Sue Amazon account.
Get a room, you guys. So let's move on. Let's move on to the main topic, right? So this video is all about corruption and control, right? Scientology likes to assert its control over people, over lives, over its image. I've been very busy here in the UK causing a bit of a stir with the mayor of East Grinstead, which I'm sure we'll talk about in a second. But I think that to give a bit of context, we need to introduce the concept of the safe point. Does anyone want to give us an introduction into what a safe point is, what the policy is there for? Maybe Karen would be best for this.
Safe point is a policy or doctrine, green on white. Hubbard's policies were always issued in a green color on white paper, as opposed to technology, which was red on white. And in the policy of safe pointing, Hubbard said to first research and find out all the opinion leaders of the local area. And this would include local politicians, local law enforcement, and then any celebrity big names, a big musician, a big artist. Perfect, Alex, there you go. So you here painstakingly find out who are the top dogs in the area in financial and political circles. Then the policy goes on to say you glom on and pamper and connect with the opinion leaders. And the theory is people don't think for themselves. If a favorite movie star is voting libertarian, they might actually vote libertarian because so people look to their leader for the opinion. and by lassoing and capturing opinion leaders who say, oh, Scientology, there's a good stuff there, then that endorses it for everyone. This is why they just cannot give up on Tom Cruise and John Travolta. They're celebrity opinion leaders. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The whole idea being to assert control, right? You know, in this policy here that I was showing a second ago, the wording is that Scientology's viability depends on having all areas and persons who could affect and or influence the operation under PR control. It's not like, you know, you want to build good relationships with people so that you can be more effective at helping people or helping the local community. No, it's because you want to control anyone and everything that could be a threat to Scientology or Scientology's public image, right?
Correct.
So safe pointing, how does it work? Like what does that look like in reality?
Well, you have a fabulous
Mitch,
example.
Oh, sorry.
Can I just finish that, and then Mitch can? You've got a fabulous example. The mayor is invited to Leicester Square, the premier, and all past mayors, all opinion leaders, to watch the Tom Cruise movie, and then the mayor accepts $50,000. Safe pointing by bribing a politician. Mitch?
Mitch is muted. Yeah, I can unmute you.
Yeah, no, good. Here I am.
Go for it.
To answer your question, what does it look like? One of the things, in addition to celebrity endorsements, are the social betterment programs, which then are used to draw people in. Like you have these programs. You have a program that supposedly intended to handle illiteracy, one on drug education. In other words, you have another one. You have the volunteer ministers, which are supposed to show up at disasters, which was not their original purpose. That was something Miscavige made up. Their original purpose was just to fool people into thinking they were a religion. And then there's one other. Did I miss one? There's the Way to Happiness. Oh yeah, that teaches
Truth
morals
about
and
drugs,
so forth.
knocking
Yeah,
on.
truth about yeah. So
Criminal.
you have these. Yeah. Criminal is kind of defunct, but yeah, it is a thing. So you have these programs that were originally started by the predecessor to the Office of Special Affairs, and these programs are meant to engage public, especially officials, in this very staged, phony idea that the church exists for the public good. And so these are kind of used like a wedge, like a Trojan horse, to connect with the police and the politicians, so that they'll be accepting of them in their community, because who doesn't want a prepackaged anti-drug program? And then each of these they're anchored by an educational component. So each of these has like study materials. Oh, the other one's human rights, Youth for Human Rights. They all have study materials that are associated with them. So they have these kind of prepackaged, these Good Samaritan packages that they can just kind of use as a leading, as their lead to get into something. So you have those programs, and then you have celebrity endorsements. Those are kind of the two main components of SafePoint.
I think it's really telling as well that if you look at these programs and the policies, it's not like the church has got a policy of where they're like, let's try and help people and, make the world a better place. They say that, and they have these programs, but they're all run from OSA, the Office of Special Affairs, the PR department, right? It's all an act of putting on a show and making this image that they are trying to help. Like, there isn't a policy that says when you set up an org, see what the community needs and genuinely see what you can do to help support those needs. There's nothing of the kind. It does say, go and make good connections with all the opinion leaders in the area and tell them what they need to hear so that they accept you, so you have control over them, not help the community.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, within the Division 6, which is the public division, there's you know all about this, Alex. Within the Division 6C, which is intended to do community outreach, it has a bunch of different purposes, but in the newer quote unquote ideal orgs, they'll have facilities where they can invite people in, like police and teachers and whatever, and do these presentations for them. And then they also offer these facilities for their use, and they're really nice facilities. So, if you're like a police group or a teachers group, and you want to do some seminar or something, and you have to raise money to get a facility, the Church of Scientology will just give you theirs.
And it's not like they're going to be booked up and full. There's no space for them, because there's plenty of space in these orgs, because they're empty.
They're totally. But exactly. They're totally empty. But the point is that it's not just the bribe. It's not just the halo effect of celebrities, and it's not just leading with this educational component that teaches people to know their human rights and so forth, but it's also they offer facilities to people for free. So they have these compelling things that they do to draw these people in who have no idea the true nature of this organization.
Yeah, go on, Karen.
Yes. When Louis Theroux was making the film My Scientology Movie, he's my neighbor. I'm spitting distance from his Los Angeles. He often lives in London, but he has a home right here. He's literally, I could throw a tennis ball and it would arrive in Louis Theroux's backyard. Anyway, Louis would visit with us every afternoon and hang out with Jeffrey. And then he said, I asked Scientology for their side of the story, and they sent me an avalanche of all the good deeds that they do. Criminals, narconon handles, drug addicts, on and on and on. Each had a glossy magazine, how they handle illiteracy in the depths of Africa and on. And he said, they seem to be doing some good. Louis was kind of a little bit convinced. And then I found out from later media that connected with me that when media like to ask Scientology for their side of the story, to be very fair and neutral, a newspaper will say, okay, we got all this, let Scientology respond. Scientology's response would be to send them all the booklets of how good they are. So hundreds of media outlets have already received this barrage, flooding them and trying to gaslight them into thinking this is really a religious group that does good for mankind, except that governments don't buy that they're beneficial.
Right.
It's all a
baked
distraction.
Goods. You forgot about You forgot about and the baked goods that arrive, because they like to send really expensive, tasty baked goods to the media.
It's all a distraction, right? It's like, a journalist will be like, hey, Scientology, we're hearing these stories of disconnecting families and, financially destroying people's lives and, harassment, all of this stuff. And they go, oh, that's nonsense, because look, we handed out 1 million Way to Happiness booklets last month. We, it's just a distraction. Like, no, we can't, don't worry about that story. That's not important. What's important is we're, doing this. And it's like, but that's not really actually helpful. They're not doing it because they want to. They're just trying to.
And baked goods, because the message really is, look, if we have this level quality of baked goods for our staff, how can we be bad people?
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Like evil cults don't have a 5-star Italian chef who makes them, pumpkin bread on their birthday.
There's a post there saying, Jeffrey, why aren't you live on your channel?
Well, because he's at Celebrity Center.
It says you're live on the Scientology Money Project.
I'm not going to worry about it.
Okay.
Well, what's interesting, by the way, Mitch, just as an aside, my contract here at the Celebrity Center, I've signed up as SMP.
Oh, you did?
They thought I meant Scientology. They thought I meant Scientology Media Productions. No, it's Scientology Money Project.
That's so funny.
Right. That's the real.
Sorry, ladies.
The real SMP. Oh my God.
Had that acronym first. Bitches.
Yeah. No kidding. No kidding. That's awesome.
Can I share a screen?
Go for it.
Please.
Okay. So because this is going to show you a little bit of history
Sure.
And I just have to find it. Okay, share. And if you make it bigger. Now, on my blog, The Real SMP, this is former Sheriff Lee Baca. He was in charge of the biggest sheriff's department in the United States, Los Angeles County Sheriffs. And he used to appear, he was David Miscavige's best friend. He would often appear. Now, this is an example of buying influence. And believe me, Lee Baca was getting something to show up. And so he's there with his 5 stars. And he was even back, he was in the aughts, you know, like 2003. This is when I first saw Lee Baca, and I went, that's Lee Baca. He's in Scientology magazine. This is an old, it's from like 2003. And he's talking about Hubbard helping tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of people, blah, blah, blah. He got to ride in the Way to Happiness parade with his white gloves. That's Scientology. And the Way to Happiness Christmas parade is coming up here shortly on December 3rd.
Well, hold on. Well, do you know who that is that he's sitting next to?
I do not.
That's, what's her name? The actress from Miami Vice?
Oh, okay.
The Scientologist. What was her name? Somebody in the chat, help me out here. Yeah,
I'm sorry, I wasn't really up on.
Yeah, she's the one who was dating Gavin Newsom. She brought Gavin Newsom, Governor.
Kimberly. No, it's not Kimberly.
She has a like an Italian Hispanic name. What is her name?
Yeah. Okay.
Sophia Milos, something like that. She was dating Governor Sugar Daddy. She was dating Gavin Newsom for a while. Actually, she saw. This is a rabbit hole, but I know you guys don't mind.
Yeah, no. Let's have some fun.
No, I was at a Citizens of Commission on Human Rights. Their benefit they have every year. Their big, 5-star dinner, and she was there with Gavin Newsom. And I always wonder, not that I care. Not that I really care, but I wondered if Gavin was gay because he's very tasteful, lives in San Francisco. This is horrible. I feel horrible saying that because I'm like stereotyping. This was before he was married. But I saw him, and he had his hand on a sensitive part of her backside during the dinner. And I'm like, okay, I have confirmation now. Governor Sugar Daddy is not gay. Not that I really particularly care. I was just curious. So
okay,
but that's who Lee Baca is hanging out with. So we're getting you're seeing a little bit of that halo effect. Like, hey, Lee Baca, you can sit in the parade with this really sexy TV star, in addition to the money we're going to line your pockets.
Yeah, that's kind of like Scientology's version of the pedo with a van and candy,
right,
so to speak. Now the next thing we see as Sheriff Lee Baca appearing with Baptist minister Alfredi Johnson, who's, he's a Scientology field staff member who helped bring the Nation of Islam into Scientology.
Yeah, speaking of scam artists.
In fact, we saw him at the IS event just the other week.
Sure.
He was at the gate of St. Hill welcoming people and had a little chat with Jeff, BTS for Life. He was there, and he had a talk with us SPs before being swiftly escorted away by Janet Laveau.
Well, what Alfredi and I have in common is we were both born in 1957, and we were both born in the city of Linwood, California.
No kidding.
Yes. So
I'm proud to say that back when Alfredi was running his original organization, the World Literacy Crusade, I went down to South Central because I was sent down there to check him out to do an interview, and I watched one of his sermons that he gave to gang members. It's really interesting, but we actually became friends. Not anymore.
Well, World Literacy Crusade was raided. Hey, by the way, Alex, was Tony Muhammad of Nation of Islam at IAS?
Possibly. I didn't see him, but we can trawl through the pictures and see.
Yeah, I'm hearing rumors there's rifts between Nation of Islam and Church of Scientology. Now, here's how they keep Lee Baca, one time the most powerful sheriff in the United States. They Twittered him. He was the keynote speaker at the Peace and Unity Conference near Death Alley.
Great choice of venue, I have to say.
But no, that's the Scientology Community Center in Inglewood that they built in for the community there. And now here's another cop. This caused problems. This is a Los Angeles sheriff's deputy being used in promotion. This crossed the line of church and state. And then this was another LAPD Captain Corey Polka, retired. He's being investigated by the FBI. And there's David Miscavige. So they like to get a lot of high-ranking cops. And of course, there was a famous scandal where LAPD Captain Corey Polka, now retired, he allowed Scientology to put in its kiosks in the Hollywood LAPD station.
Yeah,
now,
so when you walk into the station, you say, hey, Jeffrey, let me interrupt you for a second. Would you mind saying why Corey Polka is being investigated by the FBI?
Well, there was a sexual assault allegation made against former CEO, former CBS CEO Les Moonves.
Right.
And the young lady came into the Hollywood division desk to make the complaint. Now, Polka's in charge of the station, they're the precinct. So the detective, knows that Polka was working as a bodyguard for Les Moonves at the Emmys and, Oscars, other events. Not that you need him because CBS provides security for its execs. But one of the detectives apparently said, hey, Captain Polka, we got this report of a alleged sexual assault. Polka actually calls up Les Moonves and says, we got a problem here. It's criminal. And there's a grand jury. I think he's going to, this gets into some really serious criminal stuff.
Yeah.
So, while that's really bad, that's Danny Masterson level. That's what began that whole thing. So this could still blow up. But Polka, now let me give you by way of background, having been a sales engineer, LAPD was one of my accounts. And when you have a police station, you can't just bring in stuff. You have to call LAPD facilities. So I call a local put this on Twitter. I called LAPD facilities, and the captain in charge, because I know how LAPD facilities works, said, no, that doesn't go on without my permission. So that captain got mad. And then the American Atheists got involved, and they filed a lawsuit. And I worked with Jeff Blackwell and did a podcast with them. So this actually got escalated. And there's, by the way, there's the Leroy Baca order setting a surrender date. What happened is that Lee Baca.
Can you please put up the pictures of David Miscavige with Lee Baca?
Yeah, but I just wanted to show you this. Yeah, there's a picture. In earlier days, you can see David Miscavige shaking his hand, and then we have Karen Bass in the background, who was a congresswoman.
Right.
Now she's since become the mayor of Los Angeles. But then Lee Baca was actually arrested, tried, and sent to prison for obstruction of justice related to an investigation into the LA County jail system, where his deputy inspector justice.
And now Scientology distanced themselves from Lee Baca.
Yeah.
He's a criminal, and he went to jail.
They know how to pick their fixers.
But you know what? Even after he was arrested, he kind of hung around on the periphery, but out of sight. But he didn't get to ride in the Christmas parade anymore. And Polka's in trouble. He's got his own trouble. And Karen Bass, she was on the short list of then President-elect Biden's list for vice presidential picks. But her photo speaking at Scientology became a big deal in the media, and that was that really worked against her. So her opponent essentially made Scientology her running mate and tried to steal the election from her. Fortunately, she won because she's the lesser of two evils.
From someone abroad watching this, it's like it was so clear. It's like a who hates Scientology most kind of off.
Yeah,
it was like, I hate. Yeah, it was kind of funny that Scientology is put in the middle of that race.
Yeah.
But somebody got to Senator Harris's people and said, "Hey, you should put this picture." I'm not saying who that somebody is. Some might know him. But somebody got to Harris's people and they went, "What? She spoke at Scientology?"
Yeah.
So safe pointing, let me point this out to you, people who Scientology is courting. It cuts both ways because Scientology sticks. You can't get rid of that smell. once it's on you.
No, it's like herpes.
Yeah,
it ain't going away.
Herpes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is, this safe
Or
pointing
old
thing
luggage.
safe pointing is a long haul campaign of trying to get some sort of acceptance that Scientology they operate in any city, any place Scientology operates in, they use this policy, and for them it doesn't matter if the mayor gets cancelled, because there's going to be another mayor, right? For them it's the long-term relationship. So if you look at what's been going on,
Scientology, they're the long haul people.
Yeah.
They're like, like whenever I hear a celebrity, and I'm not even speaking about anybody in particular, whenever I hear a celebrity who is a former Scientologist talk about somebody in the Sea Org that was their friend, I'm like, are you kidding? Do you not know the policies that govern the handling of actors and celebrities? You are just being used as a tool. Any former celebrity who thinks somebody was their friend just hasn't gotten the memo that they were convinced that they were their friend because they were being manipulated.
Yeah.
Because, they're just on the first lifetime of a billion-year contract. They don't care about that.
Yeah, this is the thing. Scientology want, like this, for example, is on their website from the IS event just gone, right? They want this picture of the mayor of East Grinstead on the stage delivering a speech and accepting a £50,000 check next to Jenna Elfman.
Right.
They want to be able to say, here, in attendance were the mayor and mayoress of East Grinstead, town councillors and charity volunteers.
Absolutely.
They don't care about your reputation as a politician. All they want to do is name drop you because it gives them some sort of, credibility in their eyes.
Yeah,
and also they want to just have a good relationship with you so that they can control you.
Absolutely.
So that when someone comes along like me and says, hey guys, Scientology are doing something untoward that they shouldn't be doing at St. Hill, why are you supporting them? Scientology have spent years, trying to influence the council so that they look the other way, so they look at Scientology more favorably and kind of turn a blind eye to some of the stuff that they shouldn't turn a blind eye to. They've been in East Grinstead since the 1960s. L. Ron Hubbard bought St. Hill Manor in 1959, so this is nothing new. And what we're talking about now in East Grinstead is that, like, the result of 50, 60 years of work trying to influence and control the local community.
Yeah, and didn't he borrow the money to buy it from Red Sharp? What's his name? Do you remember, Karen?
Right.
What's the guy's name? Red Sharp, right? The guy who shot all the Sharp, right? Sharp. Yeah, the guy who abysmally shot all those films that I had to redo or restore. Yeah, he borrowed money from Red Sharp and never paid him back, and then discredited him, threw him out of the church. Yeah. So anyway, just a little sidebar story there. But yeah, Alex, you're absolutely right about that. I mean, it happens everywhere. I mean, it even happens at Gold, and they're like in the middle of nowhere. Like, it's St. Hills. Like, it's often a beautiful suburb. What do they call it? The Banker Belt. What do they call it? It's in a very affluent area. I've heard that. It's
Green Belt.
But I've also heard it referred to as like the Banker's Belt.
Yeah.
Or because there's so
it's
many
a nice
wealthy.
area.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's where what is it? The wood, the 20-acre wood, whatever, from Winnie the Pooh. That's all.
100-acre woods, yeah. Sussex.
100-acre wood. 20. No. With inflation, it's only 20 acres now. You're not paying attention, but they cut some of it down for.
But I think the point. Yeah, go on, Jeffrey.
Oh, Alex, may I share some of the screens?
Yeah, go for it.
Real quickly. Now, it's not just celebrities where they safe point. They get into movements, and this involved the Me Too movement. This was a big social media fraud. Mike Rinder's daughter, Taryn Tosh, the Terrible. You know how she went on the campaign to claim that altercation, that Mike had injured her father when in fact it was nothing, right? What she did. Now, we called her clickbait Taryn because she was going on this campaign, and that was the click farm she was using.
Oh my God! It's like something out of Indiana Jones.
Well, no, they use click farms. I mean, that's how they like their okay. So Taryn got next to the founder, former Fox anchor Gretchen Carlson, founder of Me Too movement, involved in Miss America. Now, what Scientology did is there was a women's event downtown, and they used Taryn to get pictures with Gretchen Carlson. Now, I posted these, and we were at the time following Taryn around, showing what a fraudulent thing she was doing. But here she tries to steal celebrity. One of my readers on my blog who actually knows Gretchen Carlson called up Gretchen Carlson and said, "Hey, Scientology using your picture." Gretchen was horrified, had her publicist call and demand that those tweets go down.
Wow.
And this was a bad. Gretchen Carlson's firm, I understand, was quite furious. Like, how dare you use me to say that I endorse you or your story or Scientology? She was furious. So they will sometimes surreptitiously hijack celebrities. They, like in some of their posters we see for the ideal orgs, they'll take Star Wars images, copyrighted image, while they scream like stuck pigs about it. And so this picture I really hated. It came out right after 9/11.
Right.
When you had first responders, they colorized the Scientology volunteer minister like they were the only ones doing anything at ground zero when there were only a few of them. And this was so objectionable and reprehensible that they would actually have the gall to say we're the ones who stood out at ground zero in that horrific terrorist attack. Tom Cruise actually suited up as a firefighter at 9/11.
No, that's a shoot, dude?
No, this is this is absolutely real.
That's a shoot.
No, it's not. No,
he's that stupid.
He
was that stupid. Hey, look, I called him out on it on Xenu.net.
That's like cosplay. That's like the most sickest cosplay I've ever seen.
Oh, he set up the New York 9/11 detox.
Yeah, I know, but he's like,
No, this is real shoot, and they took it down. Just like when he was filming Top Gun 2 on the USS Theodore Roosevelt, I posted all the tweets of the sailors on board talking shit about him.
Yeah,
no, he actually did this. This was atrocious. So
it's unbelievable.
But the point is, when they stole Gretchen Carlson's name and image to imply that she was supporting Taryn's fair game campaign against her father. So there's not just SafePoint, there's also injecting themselves into issues. Like David Miscavige at the IS event, Alex said that they were involved with the UN and they got to a point where no new psychiatric hospitals will be built. That's complete bullshit. And I'm going to do a video, a podcast about how to investigate that claim. Go ahead.
I was going to say, the lies are so blatantly obvious, this is the thing, that the issue with East Grinstead and the council and the infiltration is they're so under their spell that the councillors and the mayor, they don't even care to look up the evidence. If they were to look it up, they'd realize Scientology didn't get charity status in the UK. It was rejected because it couldn't prove there was a public benefit. But Scientology say, we're a recognized religion. So they just go, oh, okay, great. And then treat them
somewhere in the world they are.
Actually do. Yeah, but not here. They didn't do the research. They just take what Scientology say.
Yeah.
And this is the thing. There's so many clear lies on their website. IS event. If you look at the opening of the Qual building, for example, it says right there on the paper on the website that the new building is 20,000 square foot. Well, if you just download the planning application that was put in from the council website, which is free and very easy to find, you will see the building is 12,000 square foot. They've almost doubled the size of it just in this press release as puffery. They just lie through and through, and the people of power aren't they don't care. They're not going to check because they're just taking their word for it.
Well, they also have a way of wrapping those people in this kind of warm sort of emotional support blanket, and they feel sort of thrilled by it. I mean, to add to what you're saying, Alex, it's a two-pronged thing. On one prong is they're lying. The other prong is they're doing the opposite of what they say they do. They're actually harming people. So it's not just that they're lying and saying, "Oh, I'm this, I'm that." I have a human rights program, and we go around the world and we teach people about the human rights. Meanwhile, what I'm not telling you is I have people locked up. I am abusing people. I am trafficking children. I am doing all of these things. So it's really this two-pronged thing that makes Scientology a bottomless pit of hypocrisy. But this is getting a little serious, so maybe we could lighten it up a little.
Well, I think go on, Karen. What are you going to say?
Jeffrey will have more data on this because I was still in when all this was happening. But remember, they used Tom Cruise to go to Congress, and
that's exactly what I was going to bring up as well.
Oh,
Tom Cruise is used as a puppet, right? Like they trot him out on stage and go, "Hey Tom, can you go and do this to help us out? Hey Tom, can you go and do this?" And just using him as a tool to, impress people.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Carry on, Karen. Sorry, I interrupted you. What were you saying?
Well,
didn't they even ask him to go to Germany because they didn't want that film of Tom representing one of their national heroes? This incredible guy who went against Hitler is iconic to the German people. And Tom Cruise with
you talk about
that was
Inglourious
Valkyrie.
Basterds, right?
No, Valkyrie.
Yeah, Valkyrie. That was it. Yeah,
Where Tom played Klaus von Stauffenberg.
Yeah,
great.
He was the leader of the assassination on Hitler.
And there was a huge wave of Germans that so protested that this ambassador for the cult of Scientology is taking on the identity of a German hero.
Yeah. It was terrible when they did that.
But
it's even worse? It's even worse? The German version of that film, and the actors escape my memory right now. The German version of that film, which was made before Valkyrie, which I think was a better film. The woman who played Van Stauffenberg's wife was cast to play Tom Cruise's wife in the American version. The guy who played the German version, who's a very good actor in English as a German, was passed over. And I thought that was a real egotistic move. If they wanted to remake that film, they just should have remade an American version of it or not cast her. I thought it was really disrespectful that they cast her in the film, but that's just my own personal view.
Yeah.
Jeffrey,
I can't stay away from film trivia. Sorry, guys. I'm just
looking at then and now.
Yeah.
Looking at then and now, Tom Cruise doesn't seem to. He'll show up at a party. He'll show up at an event. But it's many, many years since Tom Cruise went and visited politicians to try and ease them up on Scientology. I think he's done with that because of the... Oh, you want to say something?
You say that, maybe high-level politicians in the public, but also perhaps not, because there are pictures, for example, with Tom Cruise and Prince William and Princess Kate, just earlier this year. There's a picture on the East Grinstead Mayor's blog from June of this year where he was boasting about how wonderful it was for him, a bunch of councillors and former mayors of East Grinstead to be invited to the Mission Impossible film premiere and attend and walk along the red carpet and meet and get a picture with Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is very much still being used by Scientology as a tool to further its safe pointing aims. And it might not be as overt as, going to meet, the president or whatever and having a public conference or whatever. But I think still behind the scenes, he is very much like a chip that is used. But
I have to just add to that Tom has settled into his most important role in Scientology. Once he made dramatic films. The guy was nominated for 2 Oscars. He had a lot of respect as an actor, and he's kind of, I think, from taking David Miscavige's career counseling, ever since Eyes Wide Shut, he's veered away from that. The one exception is Valkyrie, but that film was just a flop. Nobody really liked it. But he just has this machine set up to exploit himself as the world's highest paid stuntman and action hero and make a ton of money for the church. He donates, I'm sure, untold millions of dollars, and that's his role. So he doesn't really need to step out and and do like what John Travolta did when he went to Bill Clinton and got him to write the German government you know, and protest against the German response to Scientology. So,
Alex, may I share more another screen?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Let's do
please.
that, and then let's do that, and then a little wrap up because we're approaching the hour. So I want to make sure we've got time for questions and that sort of thing. So go for it.
I want to do Tom Cruise. Now, this is really interesting. He was actually used, and this is where he gets into some really sinister stuff. This is, I've shared before, Colombian Police General Carlos Romero Mina Bravo. He was in charge of Interpol for Colombia. Now, this was definitely a Scientology intelligence operative to cultivate a Colombian police general to gain access to Interpol files. They also did it in Peru. So that's when Tom was making Air America. This is an unknown police general. So he's actually talked to the State Department when Scooter Libby, who was Vice President Dick Cheney's
Chief
assistant.
Of Staff? Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Chief of Staff. So you can see that Tom Cruise has done some, what I would say is an intelligence operative for the church. And that's Mina Bravo giving later.
Is that a little cocaine I see on that general's uniform? I think I saw just a little smudge of cocaine there.
I think it's maybe, plus could be, but that's actually crosses over into politics with Scooter Libby and his crew and getting the medal. This is another picture up close. Now, the biggest movie star in the world, seeing a Colombian police general, to me, that raised suspicion. And I've had some conversations with agencies about that.
And the fact that he's pushed him in a corner, like he's literally standing in a corner there.
Now this general was later criminally charged. So again, Mina Bravo, just like Baca, just like Corey Polka, he's later criminally charged. So there's some kind of bad karma. Mitch, I had something I needed to ask you.
Sure.
And if you will just indulge me, I'm going to stop sharing this. There's something I have a question that's kind of funny. I need to ask you. So let me go here because it's just been on my mind. It's a little off topic, but I think our viewers, I was watching Scientology TV videos when it first came out. And one thing, now they actually made a video. And I don't know if they were scraping the bottom, but can you please explain? They actually made this couple, Andre and Zoya Sinetsky, they were actually they're potato farmers in Russia.
Right.
And Scientology TV did a thing on how it's just conventional modern agriculture using drones and things. Do you remember this potato farmers on Scientology
is there
TV?
A date on that? It might have been after I left. Is there a date?
It would be, let me see. I would have put it in 2021.
No, I wasn't there, and I wasn't paying much attention to the station at that point.
This
but
was
I can tell you,
yeah,
that was the Meet a Scientologist series, or I'm a Scientologist. They did two, and the only difference is one was shorter than the other. One was featurettes, and the other was like half hour. But the thing is, they went through all the interesting ones to begin with, like the Deerings who own Deering Banjo.
The banjos,
Yeah, like I know those guys. They make great banjos, and it's unfortunate they're part of a cult. Actually own one of their banjos. So they kind of went through all the interesting people, and then by the end of the first season, they were like, what do we got? Well, we got some potato farmers in Russia. I'll take it. So, it was kind of like that.
I just want to say, I know we're running tight on time. Jeffrey, was this the police general in Colombia that awarded David Miscavige some high? Could you just show the award? David Miscavige gave himself a huge award, but he didn't do it in Colombia. He didn't do it on that. He took
I've showed it before. It's people.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. This is a different audience.
It never grows old.
Okay, I have
Davey getting a medal pinned on him.
Yeah, let me get the medal.
He doesn't look like he slept in days. If you look closely at this photo, I don't really understand.
Well, one thing I just want to originate about Miscavige is you've never, ever seen Miscavige with any United States senator, United States, anyone. You may see him with a local police, LAPD chief, but as Jeffrey says, it's bad. Okay, this is it.
Now, this is actually from a Colombian newspaper, English language. They're
Right.
investigating. This was what Miscavige put up. It was like his advertorial in 2012. Scientology hits milestone New Year's. The Atlantic magazine had to take it down. But this is what Miscavige presented to the Scientology public. They sailed the ship down to the Barbados, had Mina Bravo who was then retired, stick a medal on him. And the commendation was shameless for saving humanity from the scourge of illiteracy, drugs, and something, it's all bullshit. But the real language headline that David Miscavige did not show Scientologists, Mitch, I don't know why, Alex, Karen, that he was investigated for pulling the shenanigan.
Yeah, so he got censored.
Oh, he later on, he was arrested. And I think that probably had to do with corruption, maybe taking money from a little cult leader to give him a medal. But what's interesting is Miscavige will take the ship to Barbados. Like he has this ship in the background. All these Sea Org members are props.
Right.
And this shows like the staggering narcissism of Miscavige. Yeah. No one else, like the Rotary Club won't even give him an award. So he's got to go pay to play with a Colombian police general.
Pretty amazing.
The headline. Well, this is the other thing on Safe Pointing Gone Wrong. David Miscavige leads Scientology to milestone year. This was in the Atlantic, and it was an advertorial, but it was made to look like real news. Yeah. And this blew up so quickly on the Atlantic magazine that they pulled the ad and apologized for doing that. Do you remember that? Mitch? Yeah.
I don't.
That's how bad. Miscavige paid for an ad to make it look like legitimate news. And the Atlantic, which is prestigious, had
no, I never saw that.
Yeah, the president.
That's amazing. So that's just an ad, right?
Yeah, you can see that yellow, but the Atlantic took a lot of money.
Yeah, this stuff really backfires on them. Like you hear people on these SBTV, whoever it is, they say, hey, Scientology's putting ads, like whether it's Aaron or whoever. They're putting ads on my channel, right? You hear this. And the thing that they don't get, we look at that and we think, oh, that's just stupid because they're paying to fund this, because that money is shared with their creators. But Scientology, and I've been there in the meetings when those kinds of ads were ordered to be purchased, they think that they're actually legitimately diverting the viewer's attention onto the truth. Onto the real message. Like we'll get them, we'll put ads on there, and we'll move that.
What?
Yeah.
If anyone can produce just one example of someone who's gone online to watch Leah Remini in the Aftermath or SPTV, I don't care, any video, any anti-Scientology content, can I have just one example, please? Just one out of the millions of views all of these videos have got, where someone has gone on to watch it, a Scientology ad has popped up, and they've gone, that's changed my thinking entirely.
Yeah, I'm on the wrong track here. What the hell am I doing?
The amount of money they spend on advertising.
Millions. I've seen the budgets.
Millions.
Like so the ads on Google, they spend millions a month.
When they do finally get that one person who's done that they would have spent X amount of $1 million on one person.
Well, supposedly they've had over the years, they've done 2 stories on people that came in and said it was the Super Bowl ads or the quote unquote ads they put on. That's 2 out of all of those.
Well, look, guys, I think, should we start wrapping up and doing questions? Because I know we're approaching an hour. I think in summary, just the last thing I want to say is, look, safe pointing is real. It's been going on for a long period of time, and it's not actually about helping the community. Even local people in East Grinstead who are saying, yeah, they're great and they put on an Easter egg hunt. Great, yeah, it's lovely. But look a little deeper. Why are they doing it? Not because they want to foster and support community. It's because they want to look good. And why do they want to look good? So that people look the other way when they get called out.
And they don't want to be scrutinized. They want the view of the police and the politicians looking somewhere else. There's nothing to see here. Before we go, I don't want to get into this in depth. I just want to put a pin in it so we can talk about it later. But Golden Era Productions, where I worked for many years in Hemet, California, that area is considered the methamphetamine capital of Southern California. And yet Gold, they have never done anything to reach out to that community, to help that community. And yet at that time, all of the educational materials, all of the propaganda about the anti-drug campaign was coming out of Gold. And yet at their doorstep, you had the worst amphetamine problem in the entire country.
Wow.
And we once shot, for the LRH Life exhibition, I did a film about Narconon. And we, the PR people at Gold, went to the local police and got them to work with us. Unfortunately, they showed up armed, which you're not supposed to have live ammunition on a set, and that was a whole nother problem. And it's kind of safe pointing backfiring, but that's a whole long story. But that's just a really good example of their hypocrisy, because they'll do nothing in their own area because there's no value, there's no PR value for them in helping the neighborhood in which they live.
Yeah. One Love says it perfectly. That's because they're fake, Mitch. They suck.
Oh,
true.
God. Well, then it's a good thing I left, because I was thinking maybe I should, made a mistake.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're very fake.
Right, let's blitz through some of these questions. Osa Troll, aka CO Bilf. My big pharma checks bounced, so now I'm going to have to try being some kind of fake bishop for Dave. I'm still waiting for my big pharma check. I said it last time. I'm very disappointed. Like, I was promised that SPs, when they speak out, they get paid by big pharma. Eli Lilly, GlaxoSmithKline, Pfizer, any of these guys, right? If you want to sponsor my channel, I will happily accept the check.
Alex, you just haven't installed the Big Pharma app. That's all it is. I get my check I get paid every week.
Do you have to get the Scientology TV app first? Do you have to get it through there, right? It's an add-on.
No, just the Big Pharma app. We'll talk after the show.
Yeah. Send me a referral link.
Okay.
I think it's hilarious that Scientology through the years say, oh, he's only speaking out because Karen pays him.
Yeah.
Tony Ortega has a blog because Karen is funding it. Karen is funding the after. And you know what? They're talking about themselves. Who is really funding?
Yeah, that's their stuff.
Who's giving money to the mayor of East Grinstead? Who gives $20,000 checks to LAPD Hollywood Division? They are the bribers. So it's hilarious that they try to say Karen de la Carrier is paying.
And even if what they were saying, let's say it was true, Karen, essentially you are exercising your First Amendment right of free speech to fund the platforms that you believe in. So basically when they say that stuff, they are really saying, I hate the First Amendment.
I think what's interesting to note as well is when Liz Osterman, who is the public relations official at Scientology in St. Hills, she's the one responsible for safe pointing everything. She is the one standing on stage with Jenna Elfman and with all of the other dignitaries and so on, representing the Church of Scientology, handing over a check for £50,000, saying, here, this is from us to you, to your local cause. She's never, if you added up all of her earnings in her whole life in Scientology, working 7 days a week, with no time off in the Sea organization, if you added the total amount of money she's ever earned, and she's been in Scientology for like 20 or 30 years, it still wouldn't be the same amount as that check, because you're a slave when you're in the Sea organization, and they're handing over money because they don't care about people. They just care about image. Free Xenia Project, Mitch Brisker, I would be happy to wait for the hardcover for my signed copy.
Yeah, no problem. And thank you very much for donating $50 toward the ad campaign. Basically, the deal was that campaign has ended. It was on Indiegogo, but if you donate $50, you get a signed copy. I want to wait for hardbacks. Like I said, I don't like signing paperbacks. And I'll get that all worked out, and I'll send out some.
Matthew Etienne Dumais said, Mitch, I bought your book on Amazon, but can I still donate to have a signed hard copy?
Yeah, on one condition. You have to give me a review on Amazon after you read it. But no, hey, no problem. I'll figure it out. I'll put something on my community page. I'll figure out a way. I'm gonna do signed copies, but I want them to be hardbacks because I think you know why.
I'd like to give a short little 1 second, 10 second, 1 minute plug.
Sure.
On Thursday, day after tomorrow, a French documentary TV went undercover. For 3 months, they were undercover and not detected at Quebec City Org.
Whoa,
And
that's unheard of.
They are going to explode. I've seen the trailers, but the trailer isn't on YouTube. But Mitch, you can see the trailer on Outer Banks. That's
I want to watch it. That's unheard of. Nobody has pulled that off.
3 months of undercover work, and it's explosive. So Thursday, all you Scientology watchers, please look out for the French Canadian expose on Quebec. Nice. Some heads will roll in that. Poor guys.
I'm gonna show this. Because I think it's great. It's obviously it's in French, but this is the trailer. Yes. I'm really looking forward to it.
Oh, good.
Dans l'église de Scientologie.
Est-ce que tu es déprimé? Ils vont trouver si tu fais mal puis ils vont peser dessus.
Bipolaire, c'est une maladie à vanter.
Enquête, jeudi 21h.
C'est 2500 plus taxes.
Sur ICI Télé, sur ICI.tv. Infiltration inédite dans l'église de Scientologie.
Oh, nice. I hope they do
inside hidden camera footage inside Scientology.
Nice.
It's gonna be a great documentary. I think. I can't wait.
Yeah.
So
great.
All right,
Christian B. so much for doing that.
No problem. Thank you to whoever's behind it. Christian B, thank you for the super chat. I vote some Alex and Mitch talks and videos. Yeah, look, we should do more. 100%. I love talking with Mitch, and we've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes, and I'm sure we'll come up with some more content. But Mitch is a very busy man now, guys. He's like a mega celebrity superstar. He's out doing the safe pointing for the SBTV community.
Yeah. I'm just trying to get this message out. I just wanted to bring more attention to this entire issue because it's just
absolutely
there can't be enough about this, and it's not just Scientology. It's they're like the difference between an abusive relationship and a cult, an abusive cult. It's just a matter of scale. It's just the same thing scaled up or the same thing scaled down. So I'm hoping to broaden my message to not just include Scientology and not just other cults, but the human experience of why we get involved in that kind of thing to begin with.
Absolutely.
Because ultimately the Scientology universe is pretty small.
Yeah. But influential. Small but influential. They have there's not many people, but they have a lot of money and they have a big voice, right?
Yeah, true. This is true.
Marsha Bentley, thank you for the super chat. Karen always brings class, style, and experience.
100%.
Thank you, Marsha. You're very kind.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We have Gabe in the house, escaping the cultiverse. Question, Mitch, what's with this cake that Tom Cruise sends to his celeb friends?
I would love to get a hold of one of those. I never had one. I never got gifts from Tom. I mean,
what's this about? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, no, what's his name? Oh, God, forgive me for not remembering his name. The guy who played Superman, who was in the Mission Impossible with Tom, who played a villain. They had a fight in a bathroom. What is his name? That handsome British actor. He did a interview where he talked about getting this cake from Tom Cruise. I'd heard about this cake. It's basically like a coconut, it's like a double coconut sponge cake kind of thing. And he sends them out to all of his friends at Christmas. Wow. And everybody who's reported on it says this is absolutely the best cake in the world.
Yeah, they're serving it here tonight.
Yeah, okay, great. Jeffrey, can you just try to sneak out of there with a piece for me?
Yeah.
Damn. But I never received any gifts from Tom Cruise, but I got a lot of gifts from Miscavige that were inspired by Tom Cruise gifting. Because, these two guys mirror each other. So I'm sure it's like, hey, Tom, what are you giving out this year? Oh, I'm giving out $3,000 audio players. Okay, cool. They make a note. I'll buy a bunch of, get one of those for Mitch. I got to keep him defending me. Anyway, so yeah, I never got the cake, but there's some 5-star restaurant bakery in Beverly Hills where they keep a table in the kitchen for Tom so that he can park in the alley and go in there and be unmolested and have a meal. Apparently, it's one of the best little French cafe bakeries in Beverly Hills, and I know that because Miscavige would always buy like tons of pastries and baked goods from this place, and so if you were around working with him or whatever. And it was around Christmas, you'd always go home with a handful of pies and cakes and all kinds of other stuff. So
nice.
Anyway,
hey, Mitch,
go on, Karen.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mitch, just do me a quick favor. Can you please make free Xeno? Can you please put him on so that he can mod your channel. Do you know how to do that?
Well, yeah,
let's do that offline while we're on.
Yeah, we can do it offline. Well, I didn't know he was available because I do need a mod. As much as I love looking at really toxic comments because they just really crack me up, sometimes they're really offensive. So
yeah. Free Senior Project, talking of Free Senior Project, says, question, Karen, where will we be able to watch this, or will it be online somewhere? I think this is talking about the Quebec undercover documentary. I don't know. I know the channel. I know that there is a channel that does have online, it does publish stuff online, but I don't know when or whether it will be available outside of Quebec. Do you know?
Well, the trailer's on YouTube, right? So it probably says
it'll
probably
most likely, Freeze, it'll be on YouTube, but you and I are in touch, and I'll surely send you the link.
Lovely. Alrighty, guys, any final comments before we wrap up? Because we're over an hour now. I think this has been really exciting not exciting.
Yeah, it's been fun. We didn't even scratch the surface.
Yeah.
No, exactly. Any final comments, guys, before we wrap up?
Don't Jeffrey, don't take the silverware, okay?
I won't. We have
no stealing silverware from Celebrity Center.
We're getting ready to. They're getting ready to serve the. It's a souffle of rice and beans. So, yeah.
Oh, I thought you were saying they're getting ready to serve David Miscavige.
They're having a confit of rice and beans.
Yes,
nice.
Thank you. Okay, confit.
Yeah.
After which there's going to be apparently a registration cycle that'll go 5 hours.
Yeah, and they're going to play some games like a stand in the barrel and have ice water poured on your head.
Yeah, Karen, I'll be home late tonight. They won't let us out. They locked all the doors. So
Well, look, guys, thank you so much for joining me.
Hey, thank you, Alex. Thanks for hosting us.
Yes.
No problem. Thanks for everyone in the chat.
And I just want to say, Alex, thank you for all the work you've been doing. I mean,
yes,
I have so much admiration for you putting on that whole deal and the way you handle it so professionally. And you did it as like a serious piece of activism. You didn't go there to throw bombs and just make a big stank. So really, hats off to you.
Thank you. And I'm only just getting started, right? This is the beginning of this all. So you guys wait and see what I've got up my sleeve. But guys, thank you.
Looking forward to it.
If anyone's watching, want to support the channels, some of us have coffee and PayPal stuff. You can buy us coffee in the link, or just subscribe, comment, share. That's the main thing, right? And go and check out everyone's channels. Make sure you're subbed to everyone, because I think YouTube's been unsubscribing people and all of this. So just make sure you're subscribed and get a notification when we next go live. But that's it from us for now, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye
see you later, guys. Thank you.
Bye-bye.